Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick. This is You Don't Scare Me. In today's video that we're going to be looking at, reviewing, debunking, however you want to put it, scary videos that will make you scream. Let's see if I scream. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get into it.
If you heard pounding on your basement door, would you really venture downstairs to see what caused it?
Yes. Yes, I would.
My guess is you'd respond with a definite no, just like I would.
It's too early to swear, so I'll just call you chicken.
But in the upcoming footage, a college student named Mason decided otherwise.
That's a college student? There's no way I was that young. When do people get into college?
Despite facing bullies at school, he showed remarkable bravery, perhaps a bit too much. Being bold can work in your favor, at least until it feeds your overconfidence. And that's exactly what happened once Mason followed those eerie knocks.
You get bullied in college? Nobody ever bullied me in college. Everybody was pretty chill, the same page, you know? Everybody who's smart enough to get into college and smart enough to get into university, they're not bullies. Unless you're in community college. We don't have that here in Canada. At least I don't think so. I went to a technical school, so trades. It's probably why I didn't get bullied, because we're just a bunch of tradies.
Okay, this is Julian documenting something that's happened today. I've just came downstairs from studying and drawing all day. No one else has been home, and I just decided to go down and play Zelda in my basement, because that's where my Wii is.
Why are you embarrassed? Which one? Legend of Zelda, like Twilight Princess? That's probably the best one. But he said it was on his Wii, so there's nothing to be embarrassed about, but he seems to be getting bullied about that particularly, about him playing video games. If you bully somebody for playing video games, they're gonna beat your ass someday.
And when I opened the door, the lights were on and no one else has been home. So I'm gonna record this if anything happens. I'm gonna change it so you can see what I see right now. So this is going downstairs. We're gonna see if we can see anything. Oh my god. Light just turned off.
I didn't hear any chick, which means the light switch at the top of the stairs where you were. Remember, your view is locked to where the camera is, but he positioned the camera in a way that you wouldn't be able to identify whether there was a light switch on the side of the wall. If he's holding it, let's say in his right hand, the light switch is on his left, then you're looking down the stairs and he's flicking the light switch off. You know what I mean?
Let's see if I, you know what? That was probably just some electrical thing. I gotta go to the light switch. There's only one light switch. It's right here. The bottom of the basement.
That's not up to code. Every staircase that has more than 5 steps in North America, that includes the United States, every single state, and Canada, especially Ontario. That's what I'm most familiar with, the Ontario building code. Any run of stairs that is more than 5 steps requires a light switch at the top and the bottom of the step. So the house is no longer up to code, and his video could make them send a letter or whatever telling them to update it.
So I don't see anything over here.
Hear me out, okay? In the Ontario building code, I've gathered a few things. Okay, unfinished basements. For unfinished basements, the Ontario Building Code in section 9 3424 subsection 1, it requires a lighting outlet with a fixture shall be provided for each 30-meter squared floor area or fraction of it. The basement requires multiple outlets because the basement's large. Okay? I mean, 30 meters squared is maybe they might not need an extra light down there, but they should have an extra light. If the light falls off, there needs to be another light. It might just not be a code requirement, but you really should. However, okay, stairways and dwelling units with 4 or more risers must have at least one lighting outlet controlled by a 3-way switch at the head and foot of the stairs. 934.2.3 subsection 2. Okay. However, fuck off, HP LaserJet. However, for basements that don't contain finished spaces, like a bedroom or a bathroom, okay, and lead to an exterior entrance or built-in garage serving only one dwelling unit, a single switch at the top of the stairs is permitted. That's 934.2.3 subsection 3. So, at least in Ontario, this unit needs a light switch at the top and bottom of the stairs and needs more lighting in the basement. Just for those of you who are interested, if you're like me.
Oh my god. That chair just moved. I'm documenting this. I don't know how that could happen. I'm a skeptic on this whole subject, so I have no reason.
Now he's full of shit. Your acting is terrible.
I don't know how to explain that. But I just know I'm going upstairs. What? No. If there's anything here, I just command you to shut the door. Oh my god.
Starting to see why he's getting bullied.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Conveniently, the light turns off when he's at the top of the stairs. Looks like his house is up to code.
At first, he's confident and energetic, as if nothing could shake him.
He looked confident and energetic? Jeez. Let's go to the next clip. I don't know. Maybe I should go back and look to see if there's any string visible, but given the fact that there's a gray slate concrete floor, like slate gray concrete floor, it's unlikely we're going to see any strings, especially because the video was compressed and blown out. Like, when was this filmed? Let's see, Axis 2527. Let's go check his YouTube channel. Alright, well, the video was posted 13 years ago. And it has 2.9k views. And based on this trajectory, 90% of those views happened in 2021. It steadily climbed, it shot up in 2021, and then it shot up again in 2023, and then it shot up again a few months ago. So it seems like the only times people come and watch this video, which by the way, it has 2.9k views. I don't know if I already said that, but he made another video a year later. I'm gonna watch that now. I might put it in this.
Okay. This is Julie making another paranormal video down here in my basement. I haven't been down here since last time.
He says he hasn't been down in the basement for an entire year.
What was that? Oh, reflection. I heard a lot more noises now, but I try to ignore them. I just want to get this on again to see if anything will happen. Like last time. See how that worked out. What we believe the spirit is an infant, because it often hangs around my baby brother and he says he sees it. And also, it touches his toys very often. I hear them going on and off all the time.
So he's focused on the same chair twice. But he doesn't want you to think that he knows exactly which one's going to happen, like which one's going to move.
Okay. You can see there's no strings on it. So,
see how fucking awful that is? He didn't even look behind the chair. There's obviously his little brother, the one that he was talking about earlier in the video. He's kneeling behind the chair and then pulling the chair back and forth. This is pretty bad. It's an absolute amateur. The string was clearly tied around the friggin' the lever that allows you to lift and lower the chair. Mine's on this side. Where is mine? Oh, there it is. It's on the back.
okay, I'm out.
I mean, well, there you have it for that kid. Bad acting, obvious, like staged. His little brother was the one in the first video that pushed the door closed on command. The comment section on this guy's video is rich, man. 13 years ago, people were like, you need to get out of there, man. There's demons and stuff. Like one person commented like 20 times. Probably one of his actual friends. But people were talking about him going to Hollywood, and he responded with, nobody died, and how do I even get to Hollywood? I'm a nobody. I'm going to cut the exposition out of this next clip because it serves nothing towards the video.
Alors, bouger quelque chose, je sais pas. Taper. C'est de frapper dans une porte. Dans la porte là, si c'est possible.
Et le placard qui s'est ouvert.
Ah ouais, je viens de voir.
If you've seen my videos from like a couple months ago, you'll remember me puppeteering the cupboard doors with the string.
Ok, si c'est ta façon de communiquer, d'accord. Est-ce que tu es une femme? Tu veux communiquer avec nous? Est-ce que je... Il y a des bruits.
Il y a eu un bruit derrière toi.
Surveiller là quand même. Est-ce que tu veux que je m'approche? Franchement, je m'approche quand même.
Yeah, I thought it was nothing. It was just a fly.
Je m'approche, Chris. Si tu peux apparaître. Non, j'ai pas envie de...
Oh
Putain.
putain.
It's gonna be string, and you can use string like this. It's microfilament. It's high tensile strength. It's literally called magic wire. It's for live productions, like doing magic on the streets. They really want it to be invisible, right? They do this, they use the string in front of people's own eyes, and the people can't see the string. So how the hell do you expect to find it on video? A lot of times we can literally find the people who use the fishing line, because the fishing line appears really well on camera due to its high reflectivity. If you use something non-reflective, like this non-reflective braided fishing line, braided nylon fishing line, which it still is reflective, but it's much less reflective. Or you can use something like this. This is another really good option. This is another kind of thread. And then there's this kind of thread here. This is like a nylon microfilament kind of thread. It's even harder to see on camera, but it has a reflectivity, and that's why it can be seen very clearly on high quality cameras. To solve the being able to see this, what you would do is you would just compress the footage.
Calme, calme, on se calme. Ok, je ne veux pas te faire de mal, hein. On veut juste que tu te manifestes, s'il te plaît. On n'a rien à faire là. Ah, pareil, je sais pas.
If they don't pick up the flashlight and hold it correctly on the subject, there's going to be something happening at the top.
Ok, d'accord.
The camera moved at the same way. Remember a few months ago when I did the puppeteering with the cupboard doors? I had like 3 or 4 strings in my fingers in like this hand, and I would pull this way and it would open one cupboard. I'd pull this way and another cupboard would open. I had the camera here and I was literally doing this. I was literally doing this, puppeteering the cupboard doors. The string is attached to the top of the cupboard. And he's standing there with the camera like this, and he's just doing this. The small movements can be picked up by the camera.
Pas l'air très agréable ce soir. Hein?
Bref, merci. On va stopper là, on va arrêter.
Ouais.
C'est mieux.
For reasons no one can quite understand, the cupboard doors start swinging open by themselves.
I always love it how they say, nobody could understand, nobody can explain this. You ask anybody and they're going to say, well, they're using string, you know, Hollywood. So it's the first thing anybody thinks of. Anybody who's rational. If anybody else comes to them and say, oh, it's clearly a ghost. Really? Come on. It's string. What is more reasonable to you? That somebody can die, come back, and manipulate things around you? Like, to be able to manifest the energy, the kinetic energy required to physically move an object, the thing that is moving the object must have mass. And if that thing has mass, it should be visible to the naked eye. Like, think about it reasonably here.
And plates fly out as though hurled by invisible hands. Though ghostly incidents had plagued Rocky and his devoted partner ever since they got together, this particular episode took their fear to a whole new level. Skeptical, they captured a second round of terrifying evidence with things moving and falling all over the house. No longer confined to the kitchen, it showcased the true extent of the chaos they were facing.
Why in the hell would a ghost be confined to a specific room in the house? Like, sure, if you're thinking about phasmophobia, they have a favorite room. That doesn't mean that's the only place they can be. It's not like there's like a friggin' 10-foot radius of where you died where you're allowed to go. Nothing's stopping these ghosts from traveling the world, you know? If I died in Ontario, I'd haunt the Eiffel Tower. I don't really care about France, but...
Dare to believe it?
C'est quoi ça? Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Qui est là? Ok. Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un ici? Est-ce que vous pouvez vous montrer, s'il vous plaît? Oula.
See, it couldn't pull the gate again because the string became detached. That's why it could only happen once. It was pulled open, not pulled closed. It was pulled open and then bounced back. But the string came detached. He had the camera low to ensure that you wouldn't be able to see the string. They pulled the string, it detached itself, and then he lifted the camera.
Manifestez-vous. Parlez-moi.
So in my opinion, he's used string to pull the gate open, which is ricocheted and then bounced back. The thing that fell, you don't see it fall, it just falls, so it might as well have just been dropped by somebody who's on the stairs. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything substantive in this clip that would lead me to believe that there was anything paranormal happening. It can all be very easily explained away by just string and clever camera angles and clever choice of where the light is to minimize the reflectivity of any string that you would be able to see. So, whatever. Let's see the next clip.
On the left side of the frame, a disturbing pale shape glided past a bike, casting a shadow on the bushes. In just a few frames, it looked as though this being had no head. Or was it just hunched so low that its face was hidden? Either way, the mere idea of someone, or...
I'm actually pretty sure that's the ass end of a golden lab or some kind of dog. I think that's its tail. And so, like, the thing is, the footage has been slowed down. You can tell because of the audio. All the chimes, it kind of resonates, you know what I mean? The clip is very, very short. I think it's literally a dog. Like, I think it's his dog going behind the motorbike. The frame rate of the video is much too low. It's massively compressed, even for security camera footage. Like, this has been exported in a lower resolution intentionally to additionally obfuscate what you're looking at. You can tell because in the bottom left corner, you can see that he's doing a screen record of his video instead of just recording the video. Like, instead of just exporting the video, he's recording his screen. So that's a little bit confusing to me, why anybody would want to do that. Because, like, when you're looking at the video, you get full resolution on the actual security camera, like, visual system, right? You can zoom in at full resolution and see additional details. But if you record the video itself, then any zooming you do is going to be lossy. So the original footage would have a kind of semi-lossless format, which would allow you to zoom in without losing too much details. But because he's recording his own screen, he's recording at a lower resolution than the original video would be, therefore intentionally compressing the footage so that you cannot zoom in on it. It's a dog's tail. It's the ass end of a dog as it goes around the scooter. Show us before and show us after. If you have a motion alert and your security camera is intended to be recording 24/7, then you should have the leading up and then the post portion of the video. So if you want us to believe that there's anything paranormal going on here, upload the whole clip. You know, go to where this clip was recorded, roll back for like 5 minutes, and then post that whole thing. I will watch a full 5-minute clip of the front door if nothing happens right up until this moment. I'll do that gladly.
Oh, and it says they hang out and dwell around graveyards. And you know the story on that, right? When Mike hired those 2 native spiritual people to come here and do their stuff, they said it's not the hotel that's haunted, it's the graveyard.
Oh.
So this service road here where Danny and I used to park, that's the old Stony Plain Road. Do you really think when they dug up all the bodies here, that was a good one.
I don't know if you've seen my explanation of this video before, but I'm pretty sure you'll come to understand exactly what I think it is. It's the vape. I don't know if you got that.
Moved them over to the graveyard?
They dug up the bodies and what?
Before this hotel.
Even without zooming in, you can spot the eerie figure gliding down the corridor, right beside the chairs. Precisely what Paul has been warning about. For months, the hotel has brought in certain cleansers.
Nick, are you vaping in here? Oh, no, man. What, you see the ghost again? That's what I was talking about. I keep seeing it, man. It's just like... I just keep seeing it. Nick, you're vaping literally right in front of me. No, dude. Oh, look, the ghost is right here. Holy shit, bud. That's insane.
Men claiming they can banish spirits, although the staff was never told why. Only now are the pieces falling into place. Of course, this encounter could still be a one-off glitch in the system, right?
Yeah. Unless you put a no smoking sign in your lobby, I don't think that that's going to be a one-time occurrence, bud.
Paul wasn't convinced, though. He knew he needed more undeniable proof, and it was only a matter of time before he got it. Would you have believed him without it?
See?
Yeah. I saw it.
You sure they have it there, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Noel.
Yes, yeah.
What's up?
Oh yeah, I see it again.
Yeah, he'll try and sit in the chair. Sometimes he'll stay there for a minute.
He is. How do you know this?
Oh yeah, eh? It's a fucking smoke cloud, bud. Like, you think about it realistically, right? You're not gonna be looking at a ghost here in the goddamn lobby. You're looking at maybe like, it could be smoke. It could be like actual smoke. You know what I mean? Like from like a blown capacitor and some sort of like, what do you call those, mesh network Wi-Fi hotspot access points that they have up there in most commercial buildings. It looks like a little UFO stuck to the roof. Sometimes a capacitor will blow in that over voltage, and then poof, you got a blown capacitor, a little bit of lead smoke, you know, well, like electronic smoke comes down. Electronic smoke tends to kind of stick together. It's like it kind of stays together, you know. When you're using like a vape, it kind of dissipates after a couple of seconds. So what I'm looking at right now looks to be like a substantial amount of like smoke from something. You know, you got your air fryer smoke or your cooking smoke, the smoke that kind of billows out and lingers around the roof. Then you got your more dense kind of electrical fire smoke, and that kind of billows and hangs, or it kind of stays grouped together and lingers around eye level. You know what I mean? It doesn't get too low, doesn't get too high, because of the density of the smoke. If I saw that on a security camera, I'd go start looking for burnt wires. Or I'd go and I'd ask the lobby guy, you know, are you vaping in here? Be honest right now, because if you're not vaping in here, then we gotta fucking call the fire department, you know? At least that's my opinion. It's the most reasonable, realistic opinion to me. It's what do you call it? It's Occam's razor. You know what I mean? The simplest answer. When, like, I know Occam's razor is after you've eliminated all other possibilities, the only remaining answer, no matter how absurd it is the likely one, right? But there's another one. I don't know, Hanlon's razor. There's another one of these things. Not Murphy's. Let me know in the comments down below if you know which one it is, so I can stop saying the wrong thing. But it's the most simplest answer is usually the correct one, and that's that somebody's either vaping or you got an electrical fire. All right, it's the law of parsimony, or the principle of economy. It's a philosophical and methodological principle that suggests that when you have competing explanations for the same phenomenon, the one that makes the fewest assumptions is generally the more likely to be correct. It is Occam's razor. The core idea is that you should shave away unnecessary complications or entities in the explanation. Get it? So it's Occam's razor. Simplest answer, while not always, usually is the correct one. I mean, it's easier to falsify those explanations, you know what I mean? When they're simple, you can figure it out pretty quickly, and then you can work down the ladder.
Well, because Danny and I caught him earlier when Danny was in the games room locking up. I freaked the out because I saw it. And then I tried to do a video review to record it, and it wouldn't let me.
Why is it still there?
Well, because if you read about it, they get caught in a vortex. And they linger around for...
That's gotta be the dumbest shit I've ever heard. The ghost gets caught in a vortex, and that makes them linger around. You know what else gets caught in a vortex? Smoke. That's the end of the video, so that's gonna do it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, even though I'm pretty sure I rambled for most of it instead of showing you anything. Well, that's what the channel's about. You're here to watch me debunk ghost videos. You're not here to watch the ghost videos. If you want to watch the ghost videos, this video came from the channel Scary Comp. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Go check out more of my videos. My playlist is Nick's videos. I'm the one that uploads most on this channel. My brother uploads on Fridays, and we upload like a Twin Tuesday video every Tuesday. Hopefully. I think we missed one once, but that's okay, whatever. So yeah, okay, love you, bye.